What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Crossroads Podcast, your place to get the latest news, events, and discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming. It's your boy, LeRon Dawkins, welcoming. Stop it, Stoy.
No, my brain immediately went to a 6-year-old brain.
Because I said pee-pee.
You were going to say pee-pee. I was like, dude said pee-pee. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to keep it together.
Because you started laughing and it just completely threw me off. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. It's your boy, LeRon Dawkins. Welcome all of you wonderful people.
Try to get the pee-pee out of your brain. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. All right. Hold on. 3, 2.
You're keeping this part in, right? You're just going to keep this in, right?
Yeah, I might as well.
Right,
I might as well.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Crossroads Game Podcast, your place to get the latest news, events, and discussion in the world of PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming. It's your boy, LeRon Dawkins, welcoming all you wonderful people out there that enjoy video games because we can't say the word anymore. God damn it. Whoops, there went my monetization. Shit.
YouTube changed it just recently. I think they took that out.
Oh, it's gone?
Yeah, because that was, what was it? YouTube had that where it's like, if you
8
swore
seconds,
within the first... No, it was 15 seconds.
15 seconds, yeah.
It's 15.
Yeah, so
Wait, they took that out now?
They took it out now because the whole 15 seconds things was hugely unpopular.
Well, yeah, because why 15 seconds? I'm sorry, but why the hell could we not? Who lets it rip in the first 15 seconds?
The guy's talking right into the microphone. The microphone is in his mouth.
I know, man. Like, you are filleting that thing. Jesus.
Sorry.
I follow a lot of YouTube guys that were just like, how come I can't get away with my videos? Oh my god!
So the question is, though, can we have graphic content back in our videos now? Because, I can't stream any of my Dead Space stuff because I won't get any money off of it.
Yeah, YouTube you can, right?
No,
as long as you don't enable it for kids.
Well, yeah, none of my, thankfully, none of my videos are ever enabled for kids. Even my Mass Effect,
you ain't making money off your stream. Stop it. You ain't making money off your stream.
OnlyFans is enabled for kids.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Even my Mass Effect stuff was not for kids.
Can you stream on your OnlyFans account? Can you stream Dead Space there?
I'll let you know.
Okay.
Right. Oh wow! Oops. No, I don't have a fans only account.
It was a trick. That was a trick. You fell for it. I got you.
Anyway, I cannot host this wonderful show by myself. So welcoming back, as always, are my companions, the wonderful Mr. Stoyovich. What's up, dude?
You're avoiding the question now. The next question.
Yes, I am. I am definitely sidestepping that one. And also back is Andre Wilson.
Yes, he has OnlyFans. I'm subscribed. It's lit.
It's busting.
You didn't get mad at me when I raised the price to $12.99 a month? You didn't get mad, did you?
No, I'm just
using my... What are you doing for $12.99 a month?
He's playing Dead Space. What do you mean?
I wouldn't pay $12.99 a month to watch someone play Dead Space in their underwear.
I'm not. My fiance's credit card is. Come on, guys.
That's smart. Smart.
Hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What I'm saying? 5 head.
I hope she knows this.
And also in our hot seat tonight is no stranger to the show here. Welcome back, Mr. Corey Dirrig. What's up, dude?
Hello, gamers.
There it is.
It's like I was prepared you were going to do that, so I'm just going to let that slide. So okay, out of all the talk about an OnlyFans account, LeRon, what would if you had an OnlyFans, what would your OnlyFans name be? What would your username be?
Well, it sure as hell can't be my gamer tag because that would not be right.
It would be EXO-S.
Jesus Christ, dude.
803.
That means I gotta put specific content up with a name like that. Jeez, come on.
It'd be Exodus, but it'd be spelled EXXX. And then
yeah. Hey.
I haven't thought about this, but I'm just saying right now.
I have no idea what it would be. I'll be honest with you. I can't even think of a really good, even a zinger line right now. I can't because I haven't put that much thought into doing one of those. No,
Or it'd
not at
be
all.
X. It'd be EXXX Exodas.
I mean,
Exodas.
Yeah.
I just upgraded my PC to a 3090 graphics card, and I did the old-fashioned way instead of like fast tracking myself some money by making a fans only account. So there's that. I'm stupid.
Well, running your own business is hard work.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that like a lot of like husbands run it for their wives.
I've heard that a lot too, and I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not like this is like no joke. I have legitimately heard of a lot of husbands running their fiancés or wives OnlyFans, and I'm like, that'd be so odd.
Their spouses or significant others are the focus.
So basically, it'd be like if my fiance had an OnlyFans, she would make the content, and I would just run the page for her.
Hold
Yeah.
on, technically, I feel like you are because like she's like your main model for all your photo stuff, like according to your social media right now.
Yeah, but
True.
I mean, he's not posting that on OnlyFans and fielding all the comments that people are like, oh, what a nice piece of ass,
You know what? That
Hey,
is kind of weird.
can you
I'll be
imagine that?
honest.
Like,
I'll be
fielding
honest.
all these comments from these people, like objectifying. I mean, that's what OnlyFans is, and you better know what you're getting into. But
Yeah.
it'd just be kind of weird. It'd be kind of weird.
For real, yeah.
But you gotta make money somehow in this day and age.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, man.
At this point, yeah, you gotta kind of do it. But it would just be weird, like you said, to be like, "Hey, babe, this guy wants to know if he can have a pick. Yeah or no? No? Okay, sorry. Like,
Yay or nay? Yay or nay?
that'd be so weird to do. Like, I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Is she gonna walk into the room right now? Like, are you calling me?
Oh, she's not. What?
Okay. Oh, she is. She okay.
I know she was. This is weird.
Are you telling me to shake my ass for strangers for money?
Yeah, basically.
All I'm gonna say is making an honest buck is like a real hard job these days. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, see, that's what I always thought about, like being like a YouTube.
You didn't catch the pun. Jeez.
I got it. Nice.
Well, in order for some people to make a buck, they have to be hard.
Yeah, it's a penis joke.
There
I
you
get it.
There
Penis
you go.
joke.
There it is.
There you go.
Pen 15.
You're usually on top of these though. Like, geez, Stoy. Like
Hey,
what happened?
Sometimes they have to be on top. Hey, there it is.
Hey,
There's another Pen 15 joke.
That's another Pen 15 joke.
There it is. I'm here all week. Thank you.
I'm concerned.
Fella.
You chose to come on here.
Hey, come on here. Hey, there it is.
You listen to the podcast every week, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And you know what it's like on here.
Wait, do you listen to it every week?
No, he doesn't.
Be
Not
honest.
every
Be
week.
honest.
I do listen once in a while, but not every week.
I don't listen to Pal Block every single week. I because like I would have an aneurysm.
I have an aneurysm doing the show, so.
Wow.
This man needs help.
I'm just saying, you listen once in a while. It's usually just me and Ed arguing for 45 minutes about something.
Corey, blink if you need help.
Of course he's gonna.
Dude's doing more
Progressively getting faster.
Yeah.
Oh man. Welcome to the week, everyone. Like it's a Tuesday night here. By the time you hear this, of course it'll be Thursday by the time this goes live and everything, barring all things go well with the show and things like that. So welcome as always. Don't forget, check our show notes. That's how you can be able to get in contact with us and like be on top of things. And without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get the show started and talk about what we've been playing this past week. Mr. Dirrig, sir.
Yes.
You are the guest tonight, so you go ahead and start us off. What have you been playing this past?
You told me I was going to start, and I was like, oh no, I should probably play something real quick.
Yo, your Switch is that's what you've been doing. You've been looking at your Switch, haven't you?
No, I'm on my laptop.
Oh, I see that nice PS5 in the back. I see that, man. Like,
I know you.
How's that thing treating you?
I don't know.
You said, do I want it? I have one of my own.
I haven't turned it on in like 3 months. I played half of God of War and was done, and then I started playing other things.
Oh God.
So yeah. I mean.
So you've been playing nothing this past week?
No, I've been playing Destiny. the Lightfall.
Yeah, you have.
Did that secret mission for the cool new Vex Glaive, exotic Glaive. Super cool. I'm a big Glaive guy.
He is known as Corey the Glaive main.
Yeah, that's
Is
true.
he really?
That's true.
Yeah,
So
in most firefights, Corey brings, if he could, a pistol and a glaive. If that's all he had, it'd be a pistol and a glaive and his fist.
Andre, the other night you would have quit out because I took a primary shotgun, a glaive, and a sword into a fight.
Oh, I'd leave right there. I'd leave. I shot, but that's the most Titan thing ever, though. That's the most.
I know.
Were you wearing Saint's helmet?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, then it's fine then. It's fine. You pop the bubble and wait for him to come in and you just.
I did do that a lot.
That's fair.
I have been working on a strength build, so a strength, resilience, recovery build, so I can just literally run in and punch everyone all the time.
That's so funny. I mean, like, as a Titan though, it's like when I play Titan, I usually run SMG, and then in my kinetic, I'll try and have a shotgun. So then all I do is I'll shoot as I'm sprinting towards you, and if I get close, I just beat the crap out of you. I do it with like everyone. I'll do it with like champs and everything.
Yeah, it's fun. Titans are fun.
Titans are a lot of fun.
So I've been playing a lot of that. What else did we do? I haven't run the raid yet. I plan on doing that at some point. I just there's a lot going on. I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy like it's my job because we have book club on Friday and I'm almost done. I was gonna finish it tonight, but I'm here, so I'll be doing that. But I really do enjoy that game. I think it's a wonderful game. The story is kind of like it's petering out a little bit, right? Like it's just kind of like meh, it's fine. But just being in the world is super fun and super cool, and all the abilities and the when the seasons change, it's super cool. Flying a hippogriff is super cool. It's an awesome game. I have to give credit to Avalanche for doing an amazing job with this game, even after obviously their history of games isn't the greatest. I mean, like Disney Infinity and Cars 3 are good games, but they're not they're not winning any Game of the Year awards or anything. And so to come out with a game like this, as wonderful as it is, and on top of that, going through all of the, internet garbage, right? Like, I'm glad Avalanche has finally hit on something, and I'm excited to see what they add to the sequel. So
you think they're going to make a sequel?
Yeah. Dude, that game sold 12 million units in 3 weeks. It's getting a sequel.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they said they weren't making a sequel to this, because I know they said they weren't going to make any DLC. Period.
Yeah, but it would shock me if this game didn't get a sequel, whether it was Avalanche or not. It would just it would surprise me, especially the way the story's going. It kind of feels because like kind of spoilers, but not really. You start the game as a 5th year, and a Hogwarts tenure is 7 years. So that would right there kind of sets it up for a sequel, and then just the way the story's going kind of makes me feel like I think there's more going on right now. So I don't know. I mean, look, I don't know. It might not, but it would shock me. And then last but not least, I can't go on a podcast without mentioning Disney Dreamlight Valley.
Hey Andre, what you been playing, man?
Wow, I have been playing. Oh wow, Jesus!
Wow,
I'm just messing with Corey. Go ahead.
Nope.
The mic's still yours.
Nope. You know what? I don't want to talk about Disney Dreamlight Valley now.
Okay, for everybody who's wondering why I was just so rude and abrupt to Corey, it's because every week for the past almost 2 months now on the Boss Rush podcast, Corey just gushes about the game. There's always something new to talk about. What's your latest achievement that you've done on it, Corey? Go ahead, tell the audience.
I have no idea what this game is, so I'm gonna have to. You're gonna have to start over from the
it's-
beginning.
Look,
It's basically The Sims for Disney.
No,
let
it's not The
Corey
Sims.
discuss it.
Sims.
I want you to start from the beginning.
It's Animal Crossing for Disney fans, is what it is.
Okay.
It's like a mix between Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, essentially. And then you do different quests, and then you unlock different Disney characters, and they also give you quests, and then that's how you kind of progress through the game. Is you do quests for Disney characters while you're farming and upgrading your house and updating Scrooge McDuck's bank and store. And
Okay, see, I might want to play that because like y'all know how I am about the Donald Duck family.
Oh man, yeah,
What?
dude, Donald's quests are like, dude, there's an alien invasion quest in it for Donald and Goofy, and it's like, what do you mean there's an alien invasion quest? For totally forgetting that there are definitely aliens in the Disney universe. So but yeah, it's fun.
Right.
It's my I'm going to bed and I need something to do for 20 minutes, and it turns into an hour and a half, and I'm wondering why I'm tired every day.
Are they the Chicken Little aliens or the Lost Planet Treasure Planet or what?
Spoilers for the Donald Duck quest, I guess. It's Stitch. Stitch.
Oh, you just got a bunch of people guaranteed to play that game right now because of you saying that.
Look, I did, and I upgraded Moana's boat all the way, so now she can catch me 20 fish every hour instead of 8 to 10. So that's been real nice. I don't have to fish; she just finds fish for me. I'm getting to the point where like a lot of this stuff becomes automated, and you just go and pick the stuff up, and then I'll sell it to Goofy for a pretty penny, and then I'm just going to be rich. So, but yeah, the quest I'm on right now is I found Olaf from Frozen, and I'm trying to put them back together. That's the quest I'm on. I'm on the last. I have to find his arms. So.
I'm not going to be mean. I'm not.
It's fine. You know what, LeRon? Nobody cares.
Well, that was interesting. I never heard of this game, and it sounds all this Disney stuff I have no concept about. And yeah,
it's free to play, but right now it's an early access, and you have to buy it for $30. But you get the Founders Pack or whatever. But it's going to be a free to play game.
Oh, okay.
In the summer, I think. So I'm not 100% sure when the 1.0 release is, but one last thing though, the Switch version it crashes a lot, but it does have cloud saves though, which is cool. So I can switch between the Switch version and the Game Pass version, and play my save across the consoles and PC. So,
all right, cool. Thank you. All right, Andre, finally, you're up.
For me, just the usual Persona 5, Days Gone, and
Stop. You're not done with Persona 5 yet?
No,
I know it's a long game, but
I have like 95 hours in that game. I'm not done yet.
Okay, all right.
I am taking my sweet time with that game.
All right, so P5R, Days Gone,
and Destiny 2, and that's it.
Destiny 2. Yeah. Okay.
I won't go into super detail because it's the same thing.
Basically, that Corey just did.
But yeah, basically, yeah. Well, basically, whatever Corey said about Destiny 2 is basically what I'm doing as well. So
okay,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right then. All right, sweet. All right, Stoy, you're up.
I fired up the original Resident Evil 4.
The original Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, like they had they actually had a sale like Capcom after the Capcom showcase last week. They had a sale on like basically all the Resident Evil games. So I bought the triple pack for the Xbox. It came with Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6. And it was like $12 or something like that.
Nice.
So I was like, yeah, that wasn't bad at all. I mean, so I don't know how many copies of Resident Evil 4 I own now. But Yeah, it's I just wanted to play on my Xbox for some reason. I have Resident Evil 4 on my PlayStation 3. I have it on the Switch, and it was like I want to play it on my Xbox, and I was like, all right, I'll splurge, and then I can play Resident Evil 5 maybe afterwards, and then maybe Resident Evil 6.
Have you been playing the Have you been playing the demo for the remake?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you are trying your best not to be spoiled.
I am doing a damn good job.
Okay,
With the exception of I follow the Resident Evil subreddit, and God, those people are just like, this is a spoiler-free post, but blah 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 blah, like in the title. Like, get out of here with your spoiler-free bullshit. Don't put it in the goddamn title. Like, Andre, did you have a question?
I did. I wanted to ask you 3 quick things. Number 1, did you or are you using any infinite weapons in RE4?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Or sorry, not 3 questions, but 2. My second question: I completely forgot the Plaga Killer is a gun in that game. Have you used it, or do you know how to unlock it?
I do not know how to unlock it. I know about it, but
Yeah.
it's been so long.
Have you ever like seen it used or used it?
Yeah,
yourself?
I've used
Yeah.
it. I used
Okay.
it when I used to play the shit ton of it
Yeah.
on GameCube. So yeah. But
Okay.
that's cheating, bro.
Yeah, like I never played it, or sorry, I never had it. I've seen it, and it's basically a walking cheat code, and I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, well,
basically,
that
yeah.
kind of doesn't make the game fun. I usually like to play with the Chicago typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
Tommy
like
gun.
I like to use the Tommy gun and then wear Leon's like old Chicago style suit.
I don't know, man. Like, at the beginning of the game where you have to shoot like 10 of those gems, 10 of those blue gems, and you get that Predator pistol.
Yeah, like the wicked handgun, and then you can get like the attachment, and it's like on your arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, that handgun puts in some fucking work, man.
Does it really?
It does. It really does. Like, if you if you upgrade it fully,
Yeah.
it puts in some work. Like, you have a high increased critical hit chance, I think.
Yeah.
It doesn't really tell you that, but it does.
Ooh,
So,
I
sometimes you
didn't
can
know
have sometimes you can have like a one headshot pop, which is nice when, the Ganados like start to kind of, when you shoot them in the head and those
come at you
tentacles
like
pop up.
I hated that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but I know. But yeah, so I don't know, like that's what kind of led me to our topic for this episode, that I was like, this game still fucking holds up, man. Like, this game still, like, I mean, granted, we've seen some quality of life improvements in third person shooter games since Resident Evil 4, but it still like holds up really well. The story is good, the the acting is good. Like, that's this was the game that made me really fall in love with Leon. And I don't know. Honestly, Ashley ain't as annoying as you motherfuckers pin her out to be.
Whoa. She's not that bad.
No, she's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, everyone's like, oh God, she's so annoying. Like, shut up. If you learn to maybe like duck and dip and dive and make sure she doesn't get in the way of your dumbass,
Yeah.
Like,
and then if you give her the suit of armor, she can never technically die. She's too heavy to carry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, the only part she's annoying is the part where you're in the castle and like people are like trying to pick her up and walk away with her, and then if you get swarmed, you have to fight them off and then shoot the guy taking her, and then that can be kind of annoying. But
most of the
time it's just like she's behind you, and it's like if you kill everyone, then it's GG's.
There's this other scene. I just finished playing it, maybe like I don't know, maybe like half hour before I jumped on. There was a scene where you first fight the 2 chainsaw women. You jump into that pit and all of a sudden 2 chainsaw women come up. Yeah. If you don't stuff Ashley into a dumpster before that, she's gonna get captured.
Rookie mistake, though.
Rookie mistake, yeah.
Easily.
So like I forgot. Like all of a sudden I'm like, well, I'm just gonna jump down this pit. Oh shit, this was the chainsaw part. And then all of a sudden, like, she gets picked up like almost right away, and then game over like within 5 seconds. And I was like,
easily, yeah.
All right. So, LeRon, I saw that look on your face. Now, there's random dumpsters, empty dumpsters around, and if you think you're going to be swarmed with enemies, you basically tell Ashley go hide, and then she hides in the dumpster while you pop off on some fools.
It makes every encounter that you can make her hide like 20 times easier, because then it's just like you have to defend you and not you and her.
Yeah.
It's just it makes it so easy.
Yeah, there's
Thanks
also
for the
that,
clarification.
well, I mean, it really does. Like if you're not looking around for that, yeah, you can easily get swarmed. And there was like the other scene where you had to fight El Gigante the second time.
Where's that?
That was in the kind of like the lone path.
Oh yeah,
where
yeah,
it's like a small
it's
path.
like, it's like a canyon almost, where there's like the
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep. So, but yeah, I mean, honestly, the game holds up like really well. Like I haven't fully played it in a long time. Like this is probably the longest I've played it in a very long time. Like I touched it, like played it for like maybe an hour and been like, that was a fun trip down memory lane. But this is like the first time I'm really investing time in it. So I hope I can beat it by the time the game comes out. The remake comes out.
What, 2 weeks?
Next week, bro.
Next week. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Next week, bro. So
it's gonna be our book club for Boss Rush.
Sick.
In April.
Yeah. I mean, I still think they should, I still think they should have remade Code Veronica, but LeRon, you and I talked about that where Resident Evil 4 is what's going to make them money.
Yeah, which like I hate to admit that, but it's true. RE4, as a matter of fact, RE4 will probably make them enough money that they can take a loss on creating the Resident Evil Code Veronica remake. Which I don't think they'll take a loss on it, because I do think there is a demand for it. But I understand, like Capcom
3 though. I think people like Code Veronica more than 3.
I don't know. I didn't like Code Veronica more than 3, and I enjoyed Code Veronica.
I mean, they all stood up on their own merits. I hate to rank. Obviously Resident Evil 2 for me, the OG Resident Evil 2 is still like the GOAT for me. But
RE2 and 3 for me is like Mega Man 2 and 3. I can't. One's always inching out the other on any given day of the week.
But I think even just the fact that Resident Evil, the series, the franchise itself is so big, they could come out with a remake of Resident Evil Survivor, and people would eat that shit up. God, Capcom, if you're listening to this podcast, please remake Resident Evil Survivor. Oh my God. Or give people Resident Evil Outbreak. Everybody's been climbing for those, and we get RE-verse. Get out of here.
Yeah. I still question that RE-verse thing. I still question that.
I wonder how good it's doing.
I haven't even heard anything about it since it officially released.
Yeah, I know. I mean, whatever. So that's pretty much what I've been playing. That, and I've been playing Atomic Heart too.
Are you still enjoying Atomic Heart?
Yeah, I am actually. It's really fun, really unique. It's did I talk about the penis machines?
Yes,
you did not.
Okay, all right.
Wait, he did? Yeah. I don't recall that.
Somebody was paying attention.
He mentioned penis, and I was like, I'm in.
Yeah. You know the large penis machine factory. Where it's like you had a shaft and you had this little ring that would go.
Yes, I remember that now. Remember that now.
Yeah. So
completely
coincidental. Coincidental.
Just because I'm queer doesn't mean I always have penis on the brain. Shut up, Corey. Shut up.
Anyway,
speaking of, I wonder what my boyfriend's doing right now.
Listening to this.
If only.
Like, I'll give you a penis on the brain.
All right, Stoy, is that everything?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
It's a very 18A podcast today. Holy
bro, I'm just gonna like this. Legend of Dragoon on the PlayStation. Andre.
Yes.
Play this game.
Play it
on the PlayStation Classic.
I don't have a PlayStation 5.
Listen, buy PlayStation 5 or 4. You can play it on the 4 and play.
That's right. Yeah, you can.
They cleaned it up, man. They made it look real good.
Do I YouTube it or do I just not? I feel like YouTube won't do justice though.
You want to experience.
See. So this is why I love you, because you
want to experience it. You want to experience it. You can't just like watch a YouTube Let's Play and think like, oh man, this feels great.
No, I have to hold the controller, immerse myself, and just control dart.
Yeah, bro, those battle music. Ooh,
Oh, the battle,
fire.
there's no other battle theme in any game that gets me more erect than that entire freaking album. I swear to God.
Yeah.
I'm going to go back and listen. I'm going to go back and listen to this soundtrack. It cannot be more epic than the Final Fantasy VII fight music. It cannot be.
It is.
Mm.
I'll say that.
It's tough. That's tough.
There are times when I'm up here editing photos and all that jazz, and I will just throw on like a 10-hour loop of like the battle theme for Legend, and just be like, this is, I could stay here forever.
You know, I think he's kidding, but I guarantee you he's not. I guarantee you, yeah.
Unless we road trip to Canada, and
I believe Andre when he says this. Actually,
you guys want to road trip to Canada? I'll make room on the bed. We can all sleep here.
I call the wall.
Hey, there it is. Smart guy.
Damn.
Anyway.
Damn. Well, shoot, I need the body heat, so I'll take the center.
I'll take the edge, and that means I'll spoon Corey.
can't wait.
All right. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Is everything okay? Cool. All right. Well, guys, I can finally officially say that I beat the Dead Space remake. I beat it Sunday night. I beat it Sunday night right after The Last of Us finale. So are there?
You feel empty
It was an enjoyable experience and stuff like that. I mean, these guys, the creative team, phenomenal job. Like I feel like I've been saying this for forever, but now I've actually played through the game and beaten it, and I've beaten it on the first run because New Game Plus is where you get the second ending as well as there's a few additional things. So yeah, like I've been like really like I can't say enough about the game, honestly. I do like chapter 12, the back half of chapter 11 and chapter 12. Like, you know, it still plays like how we remember from Dead Space, but there are some things that are different because like they do more for the storyline, and that's all I'm going to say. Like they explain like they actually make a better explanation of like, you know, like there are certain times when you see Nicole on the ship and she's helping you, like there's an explanation for that, and it's fucking amazing. That's all I'm going to say without getting any spoilers, because I feel like by this point, and by the way, Dead Space is on sale right now, so like you can get it for $50 instead of the usual $70. So there's that, and also like PlayStation 5 gamers will have a chance to get the game for free off of us, thanks to Crossroads Show. So just pay attention to our social media for that, and you'll find out how to enter and have a chance to win. But yeah, like I can't wait to go back in and do New Game Plus. You know, like Resident Evil 4 is coming out, so you know, like I'm gonna have to give that some attention. I can't honestly be sure if I'm getting it if I'm gonna get it day one and play it day one, but it's automatically in my list and stuff like that. So I promise you, Stoy and Andre, that I will play this game.
I still don't believe you. I
still don't believe it. You don't believe it.
If I'm playing it, you have to play it. That's the rule.
And you're a weenie. You don't play horror games. Like I'm getting tired of getting called out by these filthy casuals.
Well, you know what? Prove me wrong.
Okay, I'll prove you wrong.
Doesn't matter what I say. Just prove me wrong.
Yeah. Also, over the weekend, I got a new addition to my computer. I traded up my 3080 for a 3090. So you know what? I think I'm stopping for now. Like, there's no reason for me to get into the 40 series, even though, like, you know, like a couple of those cards are faster.
3080 for a 3090.
Well, yeah, because of my job, like, you know, I kind of get lined up to get certain things, you know. So like, and you know, like if I have an opportunity to sell like my previous graphics card, like my 2080 Ti before I got the 3080 and stuff like that, because it puts me in line to like get this stuff. So you know, and I couldn't turn down the fact that I was getting a 3090 at less than MSRP. Yeah, because like it's a $1,500 graphics card.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. Outside of Dead Space, I've also been playing SF Duel. Some friends of mine got me onto this mobile game, and it's pretty fucking fun. I will say that. As a matter of fact, I've got it running right now on my tablet because it will autoplay itself, which is fun. But you have to keep your eye on it because sometimes your guys will get their shit pushed in.
That's the Street Fighter one, right?
Yeah, it's a Street Fighter one. Yep, SF Duel, Street Fighter Duel. Yeah, yeah. So it's it's pretty fun. Like I kind of stumbled onto it because I saw some of my friends talking about it and stuff like that. But one of my friends who works at Best Buy out here, not too far from where I live, I walked in one day and we were just talking, like and he was like, have you played that SF Duel? And I was like, no, I haven't. Like I'm trying not to play a lot of mobile games, especially the ones that are like quote unquote pay to win, because like I had a real addiction to those games when I was playing Tekken, and yeah, so he talked to me about it, and I was like, okay, I will give this a try, but I'm trying not to spend money, and you know what? I have not spent any money on this game. Like I have no microtransactions have happened for me yet. So I think I'm doing something right because Tekken took a lot of my money, and sometimes I'm embarrassed to admit that.
It's okay, LeRon. We all do it.
All right, but
Did you guys, speaking of Tekken, did you guys see that Tekken trailer with Fei Long that just popped
you mean
up?
Law? You mean
No.
Law? I haven't seen
Law.
that one yet.
Yeah, I keep confusing Fei Long from Street Fighter with anyway.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I did see.
Bro did this flex in the trailer, and like literally he flexed, and like every individual muscle fiber in his body just popped up. Man,
Hold on, I gotta see.
Woo,
Wow,
it's halfway through.
Like,
It's halfway through. It's halfway through.
like Stoy got bricked. I gotta see this real fast.
I mean,
You say Tekken?
yeah, Tekken, Law.
Yeah,
trailer.
Tekken 8, the martial law gameplay trailer. But you know what?
He was my main when I used to play a lot of Tekken back in the day. He was my main, of course. So.
All right. Well, there you go. That's everything that we've been playing here at the Crossroads Podcast. Do us a favor, hit us up over on the socials. Let us know what you guys have been playing. Give us some ideas for what we should play, while we wait the next 10 days for Resident Evil 4 to come out. And there you have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, my boy's rips.
You see that? See what I'm talking about?
Holy boy, could cut diamonds with those nipples. Damn.
That's my man.
All right. And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and roll into our new and notable games for the week. This week being the 13th of March to the 19th of March.
You're still watching the trailer? You're still watching it, right, Andre?
Oh yeah.
Okay, cool. All right.
All right. So it's a much slower week, but it's headlined by WWE 2K23 and also a PSVR title that's a rail shooter. So there we go. You know what? While Andre's doing that, I will go ahead and start us off. On Tuesday, the 14th of March, we have Valheim, which is an RPG available now for the Xbox. Valheim was already released on the PC. But it's out today for Xbox Series X and Xbox One. A brutal exploration and survival game for 1 to 10 players set in a procedurally generated purgatory inspired by Viking culture. Battle, build, and conquer your way to a saga worthy of Odin's patronage. Also coming out today on the 14th, we have Blade of Darkness, which is an adventure title for PlayStation, as well as Half-Life, the M mod. You guys know Half-Life. It's the first-person shooter that basically reignited the craze after that thing called Quake. So there's that. The Half-Life 1 mod is M mod is a free fan-made modification for Half-Life 1, aiming to refine players' arsenals and further expand players' combat options, featuring AI tweaks, VFX, and SFX overhaul in the spirit of the original, additional weapon functionality and bug fixes while keeping most of the changes optional. That is only on PC, so have at it.
Man, it's wild that how dedicated the fan base is. That's like, hey, let's go remake this game.
Yeah, but you know what? I love the fact that our friends at Valve are just like, have at it. Like Valve has actually
So
been
lazy.
very.
It's like whatever.
Well, there's that too. There's that too. They are lazy, but at the same time, Valve has always been like community friendly.
Yeah,
and I enjoy that because we all know there are other companies out there is like those like fuck those bitches. We want our money.
Yep.
Also out on Tuesday, 14th of March, we have Hot Wheels Rift Rally, which is a racing game for PlayStation, available on PlayStation and iOS. There's also Blade of Darkness, the RPG game, also on PlayStation consoles. And lastly, we have The Legend of Heroes Trails of Azure, which is an RPG is coming out for the PC. I believe it already released on the Switch, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. Andre, you ready?
What? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah.
I want to watch that trailer again. I'm going to watch it.
I am, yeah. Wednesday,
the 15th of March, yep.
Okay, we have 3 games. First one is 2 Point Campus School Spirits, which is a simulator releasing on all platforms. Dead by Daylight mobile survival horror for the Android and iOS. I don't think we've ever done a
We talk about mobile. Only like the really noteworthy stuff though.
okay.
Yeah.
You hear that speaking of this, you hear that they're making Dead by Daylight a movie?
Yes, I heard about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Tetris movie also comes out soon.
Yeah, I cannot wait to see that Tetris movie.
That movie is wild.
Yeah, it looks good.
Learning that Nintendo smuggled some dude out of Mother Russia just to print a fucking game. Like, come on!
I'm really glad you guys finally watched the trailer. Jeez.
Where is that Nintendo now when we fucking need them? Where are they at?
Gone.
Exactly.
Miyamoto's in the back room smoking a cigarette.
Okay. I don't know specifically how to pronounce this game, so I'm going to say it's Wolken, and we're just going to go with that.
Wolfen, but Wolken Lords of Mayhem. Wolken Lords of Mayhem is an isometric open world action RPG in the corrupted world falling apart. The game features a unique mechanic called Apocalyptic. From that, allows players to shapeshift into a highly customized character. Cool. You are free to mold your characters thanks to a deep and rich customization system. And thanks to our complex and crafting minigame and our housing module, you will be able to make your adventure feel as your adventure. You are a former officer of Army of the Human Republic, forced to flee the death penalty because of the magic powers you've unwillingly developed. Where am I? Being tracked down by humans and hunted by the monsters of the wild, you are recruited by a mysterious group of Templars, and thus an epic adventure begins in which you will wander, the world to fight inhuman, mutated monsters and discover the terrible secret of the extinguishing mankind. This actually sounds kind of sick. Thursday,
the trailer looks pretty decent.
I'll have to check that out. Thursday, we have 5 games. Sorry, Vulcan for the PC. Thursday, March 16th, Post Void action game, PS4. The second game is Anno 1800s, which is a sim. Lead the Industrial Revolution. Welcome to the dawn of the Industrial Age. The path you choose will define your world. Are you an innovator or an exploiter? Conqueror or a liberator? How the world remembers your name is up to you. PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. 3, The Dark Pictures Switch Back. I was going to say book. VR shooter for the PS5 and PSVR 2. The fourth one being
for a second here, just so we don't have any confusion for some of the people listening, a PSVR title is a PS5 title essentially, but that does not mean the PS5 title is PSVR. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
It means you have to have the PS5 to play this title. It's not a straight PS5 game.
Got it. Okay. 4 being Gorn, which is an action game, which is a PS5 plus PSVR 2. And the last one being Surviving the Aftermath Rebirth, which is a sim game for the PS4, PC, and Xbox One.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the one we've been waiting for. It's Friday, the 10th of March. My man, Stoy, got it.
WWE 2K23 is even stronger with expanded features, gorgeous graphics, and a deep roster of WWE superstars and legends. 2K Showcase returns as an interactive sports documentary focusing on the 20-year career of John Cena and War Games. Is finally here. Is War Games a wrestler? I read that and I was like, is that a typo?
I think that's a mode.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I heard the last time they did a documentary, it was pretty trashed. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah. Like
It was
only like a couple years ago. It was only a couple years ago, and it was like the game came out broke as hell.
Uh-huh.
And I think people sued them. Anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You see, you got Defend the Rook, which is an RPG coming out on Xbox, and finally, for all you Diablo fans out there, get ready for Diablo 4 early access. The open beta and early access weekends for Diablo 4 feature the game's prologue and the entirety of Act 1. Holy shit. Characters will be capped at level 25, but you're welcome to continue ripping through demons until the open beta ends. Early access is available to those who pre-purchased the game for PC or console or via social media giveaways. And that is for the PlayStation, PC, and Xbox. So is anybody here a Diablo fan?
I am a
played
Diablo
3
fan.
and I enjoyed it.
I should start over. Andre, you go first.
Sorry, I played 3 and I enjoyed it.
Okay, I did too as well.
Yeah.
Now,
Same.
LeRon, your
Same.
turn. Okay.
Same.
Corey?
Wow, LeRon, way to copy.
It was okay. I
Okay.
played a little bit of Diablo 3 and thought it was fine, but I'm not like
Yo, I had to get it in as a monk. I'm sorry.
How are you going to interrupt Corey?
I don't exist.
Because Andre called me out.
Yeah, but Corey was talking.
That's fine.
Corey,
Sorry.
start over.
I'm sorry.
My
You guys
opinion
know I
doesn't
do
matter.
this.
My
Yes, your opinion
opinion
does
doesn't
matter.
Why
Open your
did you
fucking mouth
keep
and talk.
doing it? Oh my god!
Just like real life.
Ah, Jesus.
Oh.
Anyway, moving on. That's it for games this week. Jesus.
All right. Including what we mentioned in this segment, this week featured over 43 games released across all platforms, including PlayStation VR 2 and iOS and Android. Andre, what's up?
Is anyone gonna get the early access for D4?
I haven't pre-ordered it yet, so no.
Oh, is that the only way to get it?
That's the only way
Yeah.
to get it. Yeah.
Oh, lame. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't pre-ordered it yet.
You guys
All right.
remember the old Modern Warfare 2 meme?
Which
You know,
one?
the no
Which
Russians
one?
meme?
No Russians, man.
Yeah.
No, I don't think I remember that one.
It's like the guys are in the elevator and you know in the actual game he says remember no Russian.
Yeah.
So it's every time a big game comes out for years I remember no pre-orders.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It's the scene where they're gonna shoot up the
airport. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Remember, no Russian.
No Russian. Yeah.
No Russian. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. As a reminder, all release dates subject to change, so the Crossroads crew is not responsible for any games that may get delayed and or canceled. There you have it. We're going to go ahead and bust into the week's news and topics. So let's get busy. And yeah, that Tekken trailer was fucking amazing.
Bro, his little flex and just
Yes.
He's like, whoa! And it's just like every fiber is just like.
Yep.
All right. To kick things off, as we were talking about Diablo 4, there are no plans for Diablo 4 to hit Game Pass. This information comes directly from the mouth of the developers, but Microsoft's proposed acquisition of Activision Blizzard could see its addition sometime in the future. There's that. There are currently no plans for Diablo 4 to be added to Xbox Game Pass, according to series lead Rod Ferguson. Ferguson is the general manager of the Diablo franchise at Blizzard, and he took to Twitter to state that a Game Pass appearance for the game isn't in the works at the moment. In a quote, he said, "It's awesome seeing the excitement around the Diablo 4 beta." And this, Ferguson has also previously worked on Gears of War and Shadow Complex. Just because there's some people out there who's like, who is this guy?
Rod Ferguson, come back to Gears.
They need help.
He also went on to say that we've been getting some questions about Diablo 4 on Game Pass, and I want to let you know we have no plans for that. Questions about Diablo.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I bet if this Microsoft deal goes through, Diablo 4 is on Game Pass.
But not for 2 years. Not for 2 years. I don't think it's going to come out for 2 years.
What, on Game
It'll
Pass?
be on Game Pass at some point. But once Blizzard has milked all the money that they can get from it, it'll pop up on Game Pass.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I'll let it go.
No, go ahead, say it.
I
Man.
was just gonna say, I feel like Microsoft to keep on their day and date stuff. Like, I don't know if that's some sort of concession that they would have to make with PlayStation about, these games don't come to Game Pass for blah blah years or whatever to buy them or whatever. But they said that all their games would be coming to Game Pass day one, and I wonder if that's going to apply to Activision Blizzard, or moving forward if that's just going to apply to Xbox Game Studios games and not Maybe not Bethesda games, maybe not Activision games or Blizzard games. I don't know.
That actually poses a very good question. That does. Because I wonder about that. I feel like the way Microsoft and Xbox has like kind of positioned themselves, it seems like everything is coming, day one to Game Pass or reasonably sometime thereafter and stuff like that. So yeah, like I feel like right now, because like Activision Blizzard's still like a free agent, they can say whatever the hell they want, in regards to this. And then, once the big M takes it, then it's like, okay, like who's eating their hat, who's going to sit in the corner and all that, and how we getting our money, because if anything, Microsoft's gone all in on Game Pass, to the point where we now know that companies do lose money when they have their products on Game Pass and stuff like that. But like, hey, Microsoft, they want subscribers, and
yeah,
I don't know the logic because I don't know business like that. But something's going on, and they'll do what they want to do. So, questions about Diablo 4's inclusion to Game Pass have been looming as Microsoft's proposed $69 billion acquisition of Activision Blizzard continues to undergo investigation by anti-competition authorities. So, guys, would you like to see Diablo 4 make it to Game Pass, or you're good however it stands?
I mean, I still stand by what I said. I think Diablo 4 would be too much of a cash grab for them, and they would lose money putting it on Xbox Game Pass.
Hence why you said like it'd be like 2 years or later before it shows up on Game Pass.
Yeah, once all the DLC comes, I mean, they could try to do like the Forza Horizon thing that they did, where they're like when Forza Horizon 5 came on Game Pass, their DLC sales went through the fucking roof. So, that's not something you can get on Game Pass. You can't get all the DLC on Game Pass. So that incentivized people to say, hey, I'll just buy all the DLC right away. So they still made a bunch of extra money that they probably wouldn't have in the past. So I suppose, to counterpoint myself, it could be beneficial to have them come out Game Pass day one and then have all the DLC, maybe more people would buy it.
I'm feeling you on that one. Andre, you got anything to add?
I personally don't think Diablo 4 should go on Game Pass because I think it might hurt the game because then the sales won't be there. And I know that people have been looking forward to Diablo 4 for a long time. A long time. So I think for it to not really succeed, but to do very, very well, it needs to just stay on its own course, and just that way it can grow organically and not just thrive off of Game Pass, if that makes any sense.
Yep, cool. All right, any final words on this before we move on?
Nope. No, sure.
I hope.
Sorry, I was a little distracted with my phone. My bad. I had to send someone a last minute message, or there would have been hell to pay tomorrow morning.
How dare you life while we're podcasting, LeRon? Rude.
Yeah, I know.
We're in these chairs. This is the only thing that matters.
I'm such a jerk. My bad. But you know who isn't a jerk? Konami, because the fan enthusiasm for Castlevania is definitely motivating for them. This tidbit of news here, man, I don't know. Like, there's excitement here. A Konami developer has acknowledged the excitement and enthusiasm for fans online for the Castlevania franchise amidst reports of a reboot. In a new interview with IGN, Konami assistant producer Tsutomu Taniguchi said that the buzz was really motivating for Konami. The interview was conducted to mark the release of Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, fun game, by the way, which is a crossover expansion that combines the two franchises, that being Dead Cells and Castlevania. In a quote, he said, "We tried to bring back games that people loved and cherished with the Castlevania Anniversary Collection and the Castlevania Advance Collection." Taniguchi said, "We also brought back Rondo of Blood and Symphony of the Night for our PlayStation fans and on mobile, and launched Grimoire of Souls on the Apple Arcade to celebrate the lore of the franchise. But we know that our fans always want more, and we do too. So this opportunity to have this amazing crossover with Dead Cells was impossible to pass on. Like many of Konami's core gaming series, Castlevania has been dormant for several years. The last mainline installment being Lords of Shadow 2. Do we consider that a mainline installment? Because like I feel like the Castlevania, those games were more like a spinoff and not like anything directly.
No, they're a mainline. Konami considers them a mainline.
Okay. All right. Thanks for the clarification on that. Lords of Shadow 2 was released in 2014 and was outsourced to an external developer. You guys, if you guys like Metroid games, you might know these people. The Spanish studio called Mercury Steam.
They made a good Metroid game.
No, they made two damn good Metroid games. They made a remake and then they made an original.
Yeah, Samus Returns was pretty awesome.
Yeah. Okay, so guys,
did you ever hear the Lords of Shadow 2, the stories behind the development of that game?
Not really, no.
Oh my god, probably some of the most toxic shit. So there's some of the most toxic shit that you've ever heard about. The game director being an asshole, them changing the game like multiple times throughout its development. Like it was bad.
Wow. Nah.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, so when did that news come out? Because like I feel like I'm not in tune to like, you know, like that type of news in gaming now as I back then as I am now, because it seems like it's so prevalent now.
Well, I think like someone came out recently to kind of like double down on the news about it. I mean, this was posted like 9 years ago, so I think it was shortly after. But you know, I just Googled it. Like this is a quote from one of the developers. "The vast majority of this team is aware that the game we've done is a real piece of shit that has nothing to do with the first one's quality and production values." And I agree with them. It's a night and day difference between Lords of Shadow 1, Lords of Shadow 2. Lords of Shadow 2 was shit compared to the first one.
If I remember correctly, nobody is like that first one, right?
Oh yeah, the first one was amazing. Yeah. And then he doubled down by saying nobody is surprised by the low reviews we got. So a lot of people resigned during the middle of development. There weren't any meetings when we talked about communication about the previews. We found out a lot of things by, you know, press releases. Yeah, like
that's not cool. They found out things about their own product during press releases. Damn.
Yeah, right. So I mean, it's
that's hard up.
Yeah.
So here's a question: how are we feeling about Castlevania, the revival of Castlevania? Do we want to see more of it in this current console generation, or are we happy with what we're getting?
Absolutely.
What's our dream game right now for Castlevania?
Remake the N64 one because it's the best one in the franchise.
Oh my gosh!
You know what? I'm not gonna argue
honestly
with that.
He's not wrong, because that game deserves a second chance.
I played Castlevania 64.
Change my mind.
That game deserves a second chance because that game was trash.
I think they just need to do what.
So I'll fight you. It's simple. It's simple.
I think they need to do what Nintendo did with Metroid and just make a nice, simple 2D game that people will love, and then move on from there, right? I mean, I think they need to get back to the roots before they start like, oh, we're making Castlevania again, guys. Here it is. Remember, you liked it, huh?
I mean, Lords of Shadow was such a different undertaking that I really did enjoy that first one. I never played the second one, to be honest. I never played it, so like hearing all this stuff about the second one.
Lords of Shadow tried to capitalize on that like third-person action adventure God of War style, and it did it really well. Like it did it really well, and it was like God of War meets Shadow of the Colossus, and you know it did it pretty well, and some great acting, brilliant acting in it, and a good story. But I I would like them to go that route again. Kind of like the third person, over the shoulder action adventure, and then give us another kind of like side scrolling game. I know we had Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, which was made by one of the former lead developers of Castlevania. And that was a Kickstarter for years before it actually came out. Although I wish if he had the backing of a big developer, that game probably could have been better. The game was good, but I think it could have been better for what he was trying to do. So, but Konami's got the license, so they could go out and they could like basically hold up a sign to say who wants to develop Castlevania for us, and I guarantee you, there's going to be a line of fucking developers a mile long that wants that opportunity. It's the same as like when they talked about Silent Hill, and Konami was like, "We get pitches from developers every day for wanting to develop a new Silent Hill game or remake or something new." Like, there's no shortage of developers in the world that would love a chance at Castlevania as well.
I don't see why they don't do what Square Enix does with their initiative, where people can pitch them games on IP that they have dormant, right? And
I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, Konami could definitely benefit from that. They don't want to develop games, but there's plenty of people that want to develop their games for them.
Yeah.
It's low hanging fruit.
It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think like I said, I'm pretty sure Konami's keeping things close to the belt. I guarantee you there's probably a lot of developers working on various Castlevania projects right now, and they just obviously haven't announced everything yet. Just like I'm pretty sure there's developers working on Metal Gear Solid games, and hopefully, God, I would love them for someone to be making another Contra game. Please.
What, you didn't like Contra?
What
was the last one? Contra Rogue
Squadron? Rogue Core?
Yeah.
No.
Oh man.
No. No.
You weren't on that conversation where Ed tried to tell me it was a Game of the Year contender.
What?
No.
I swear we had that conversation.
No. Did you ask him if he had a stroke?
No.
That would have been my follow-up question.
Did you ask him for whatever drugs he was smoking?
No.
It was fine, but it wasn't. It wasn't Contra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and move on to our next news topic.
More Konami.
I know. Nobody wants to talk about this topic because, like, I feel like it got ran into the ground, honestly. But if you haven't caught the news yet, Rocksteady's Suicide Squad has reportedly been delayed again, following the showcase criticism from 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago at this point now.
Yeah.
At this point now, it looks like the game will not be released until 2024, according to Bloomberg sources. Warner Bros. Has reportedly delayed Rocksteady's Suicide Squad until possibly 2024, following negative responses from the recent gameplay showcase at the PlayStation State of Play. I'm going to be honest with you real quickly here. Like, what I saw, definitely, like, I do want to play the game, but I'm not in that big of a hurry to play the game. Now, before we elaborate any further, let me finish reading the news topic, and then we can break it down. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is the next game from the creator of the Batman Arkham series and is billed as a genre-bending action-adventure shooter set in an open-world metropolis. The game was originally billed for release last year, but was eventually delayed until May of 2023, which now we know is no longer happening. It was showcased during the PlayStation live stream last month, but received some criticism from fans due to its live service elements, such as the requirement to play online even in single-player mode. A representative from Warner didn't immediately respond to any of Bloomberg's requests for comment. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about this.
The game's ass. Move on.
Whoa. No, I don't.
Just kidding. I'm sorry. I just think that hasn't it been delayed twice now?
Yes. Yeah.
Like, why though?
The thing is, I don't think the game looks bad. I just think it's not doing anything interesting, and I think we've been waiting for a Rocksteady game for so long, right? Like, people hold them on such high. I mean, by the time this game comes out, it'll have been 9 years since they put out Batman Arkham Knight, right? So
yeah,
Really?
People,
Holy cow.
yeah, and like people love this studio so much that I think they just want another good single player experience. And I think people really started getting scared when they showed off 4 characters instead of 1. Then they saw the battle pass kind of thing that indicated this was probably some sort of, if not game as a service, something that's going to have long legs, something like Borderlands or Outriders or something like that, right? And I think people just are tired of those games. Plus, the Avengers didn't really do well, right? And so you have a combination of all these things and expectations, fake expectations, mind you, but expectations nonetheless from people on the internet, that there's going to be blowback because it's not the game that you expect from the studio. And I think that really sucks for Rocksteady because they've probably been working hard on this game for so long, right? I mean, I think they probably had some sort of canceled project in between this and Batman, but like, it sucks that this game is getting delayed yet again, and they're just in an uphill battle to try to remarket this thing.
Yeah, I think there was rumors that they were actually working on a Superman game right after Arkham Knight, and then they must have canned it in favor of Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I think what rubbed people the wrong way, at least from the kind of the rhetoric that I read online, was the fact that it was always online, no matter if you played single player or not.
Yeah.
And like you always have to be constantly connected. And not only just the battle pass, but the the kind of like the Destiny Borderlands like gameplay where you're constantly upgrading your equipment, your weapons, your gear, all this stuff. And it's like, when you look back at all the other games Rocksteady made, it wasn't like that. So this is a huge departure for Rocksteady Games in terms of, the Batman games. And I think longtime fans loved the old Batman games, and now this comes out and it's something completely different. So I'm still here for it. I'm still eagerly anticipating it because, I mean, it looks like a hell of a time for me. But if they're going to delay it to kind of address a lot of the fixes that they're going to do, and this is kind of like a double-edged sword because sometimes video game developers want to keep things very close to the belt, and they think they know what their fans want. So they go in developing a game assuming this is what they want, and then all of a sudden it comes out, no, this is not what they want. Holy shit, we've been blindsided, It's like sometimes maybe sharing a little bit of like, hey, this is the type of game we're making. This is what we're going to be making it, with, and maybe receiving feedback. I don't know. It's kind of tough for me to think like what's better.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Because I'm thinking about BioWare and how close to the belt they are with Dragon Age 4 development. And I'm like, guys, I believe you're going to do the right thing. I believe you're going to give us the right thing, but God, don't fuck it up because we can't wait around. That we've been waiting longer for Dragon Age 4 than the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, man, seeing these studios that just kind of fall from grace, whether people think they are or not, right? Like, I mean, Rocksteady hasn't technically done anything wrong, right? They've always put out great games, but like this, but then you see something like BioWare, it's like, are they even BioWare anymore, right? Like these studios have to hit regardless, and it's a lot of pressure on them, It's no wonder why like the studio heads leave or like the directors leave sometimes, or you know what I mean? It's just, there's a lot of pressure. There is so much pressure.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't help the fact that they always have like a really good back catalog, and everybody thinks like this developer should be firing on all cylinders like at all times. Rocksteady Games doesn't. I'm looking at their past games, and their first game is Urban Chaos Riot Response for the PlayStation 2. So literally, their bread and butter is Batman, because the next game that they developed after Urban Chaos was Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
So, they came out running right away. So I don't know. I feel like I'm rambling.
No, I agree with you 100%, Stoy. I think you hit it right on the head.
Oh, all right. Rocksteady alleged allegations of misconduct in 2020. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I remember talking about that.
Yeah. We talked about that on Boss Rush podcast, right?
We talked about it somewhere. I don't remember where.
Yeah. I remember. I remember being.
We've done since then, LeRon.
I know a million. I know. All right. We're gonna go ahead and move on to our final actual news topic. Because in a bit of news, it's probably gonna like sour Stoy's mood tonight. We're gonna talk about Microsoft, and Microsoft continue to do their thing. This time, Microsoft's announced a 10-year partnership to bring Xbox games to the cloud service Boosteroid. This deal will include Activision games like Call of Duty, should its acquisition be completed. There's a caveat right there, so don't come at me in the comments because I did not say anything wrong here. Microsoft announced another 10-year partnership with third party as it continues to try and push its acquisition of Activision Blizzard over the finish line. The company has signed a 10-year agreement with Boosteroid, who happens to be the largest global independent cloud gaming provider. According to Microsoft, the deal will see Xbox PC games coming to the Boosteroid, though it hasn't been confirmed when this will happen. Crucially, Microsoft also stated that should its acquisition of Activision Blizzard go ahead, the partnership will also see Activision Blizzard titles, including Call of Duty, being added to Boosteroid. Microsoft used the announcement to repeat its claim that this deal and other partnerships already announced will bring Call of Duty to more than 150 million additional players. The cloud gaming service Boosteroid recently surpassed 4 million users globally and currently serves players in the US, the UK, and other EU countries. Before I finish this, I don't even know who these people are. I've never heard these people before.
Boosteroid?
Yeah, Boosteroid. Never heard of them.
They're a service that they are a cloud streaming service that for like it's really big in the Ukraine and Eastern European countries. And so it's basically the equivalent of, Nvidia's, what is it, GeForce Now? That's what it's called.
Yeah, GeForce Now. Okay. All right.
All right.
All right, the announcement is the latest stage of Microsoft's campaign to show its commitment to making Activision Blizzard games more available on multiple systems and services should its proposed acquisition go through. The company has been trying to reassure anti-competition authorities such as the UK's Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA, and the United States Federal Trade Commission, the FTC, that it won't make Activision Blizzard games, most notably Call of Duty, Xbox exclusives if the deal is approved. I can just see Stoy like, bullshit. I can see him saying it. You know what? I don't even know what question to ask on this. I don't know if I should ask, like, what are we excited to try out for, like if it happens on Game Pass or whatnot. So I don't know. Should we move on?
Well, I mean, this doesn't affect us anyway, especially this side of the pond, so to speak. So
yeah. All right. Well, everyone, it is time for the speed run, which is our rapid fire segment of gaming news and events that we feel you should keep on your radar, but we did not have like the biggest talk time to devote to them. So, let's get this whole thing rolling, shall we, guys? All right. I'll go ahead and start first this time. We're going to talk about Microsoft and E3. Yeah. Microsoft, ladies and gentlemen, has confirmed that it will not be at E3 on the show floor for 2023. You guys thought it was coming, didn't y'all?
No. So here's the thing.
No, they haven't been at E3 for years.
Yeah.
So this is not surprising news.
The last time they had any E3 presence, Mixer was still around, and their booth was full of Mixer streamers. So that should tell you.
Microsoft has confirmed that it won't have a presence on the show floor at E3 this year. The company has already announced that its digital game showcase stream will take place on June the 11th, just 2 days before E3 opens its doors. According to a statement issued to IGN, Microsoft will be co-streaming this presentation as part of E3. It will not, however, be following this up with a physical booth at the Los Angeles Convention Center, where E3 will be held this year for the first time in 4 years. It should be noted that Microsoft did not attend the show floor the last time there was a physical E3 event, which was back in 2019, nor did they show up in 2018. While the company hosted an E3 press conference that year, it did not have any booths at the LA Convention Center, instead choosing to turn to the Microsoft Theater, where it held its own conferences, which, is hilarious because it was right across the street. All right, so there's that. Andre, you're next.
Season 2 of HBO's The Last of Us show will not cover the entirety of The Last of Us Part 2 video game.
What?
Creators have, that's what I said when I first saw this. Its creators, speaking to GQ, co-creator Neil Druckmann, who directed the game, and Craig Mazin discussed their plans for the second season of the show. Following Sunday's final episode of the hugely successful HBO adaptation, asked if Season 2 will span the entire course of the second game, Mazin replied, no way. Druckmann added, it's more than one season, seemingly confirming their intention for Season 3 of the show. I did hear that supposedly they might make it a 3-season show. I think that might be a bit too much. 2 seasons would probably be good. Asked how many seasons the second game content is intended to be told over, the pair would not confirm. You have noted correctly that we will not say how many, but more than one is factually correct, Mazin said. Earlier in the interview, the pair offered hints at how they're going to adapt The Last of Us Part 2's more complex story structure, which relies on multiple perspectives and perspective shifts. I feel like you almost have to kind of cover all 2.
You know what?
2 is... Sorry, go on, Corey.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good.
So no spoilers for Last of Us Part 2, even though I haven't played it, but I also know what happens. This almost feels like, I don't know if any of you guys watched the show Spartacus.
Mm-hmm.
But they did that kind of prequel.
The Gods of the Arena.
Yeah, after the main guy passed away and they were busy recasting, and they focused on a different character. I almost feel like that's what's gonna happen. Is like, obviously something happens in the game and you switch perspectives, right? I almost feel
my man here has not played Last of Us 2. Oh my god.
I like Corey. You sure you haven't?
Yeah, there is a significant part of the game of Last of Us 2 where you play as someone in a very from a different perspective.
Yes. I wasn't going to say exactly that, but I wonder if that's what they're going to do is like
100% agree.
Yeah.
That is exactly what they're going to do.
By the way, it's only $8 right now.
I highly recommend people going to
The Last of Us Part 2?
Yeah, I highly recommend. Highly.
You'll love it. You'll hate it. It'll piss you off.
I still haven't finished.
See it through.
You'll be shocked.
See it through because it will anger the fuck out of you, but see it through. Honest to God,
guarantee you it'll change your mind. I don't know. Actually, I don't guarantee that, but
I should probably play the first one first.
It changed mine for sure.
Yeah, it changed mine for sure. Actually,
it did. It did.
We could talk. We could talk off screen. Which team you're on?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Deal.
Okay.
Deal.
All right.
Yeah.
See, the reason why I'm saying like I probably won't play RE4 day one is because I'll be playing The Last of Us remake on PC when that comes out.
You ain't playing RE4 in general.
Shut up.
I mean,
you know what?
Prove me wrong.
You're telling me you'd play The Last of Us on PC versus the RE4 remake?
I know where. Okay, see, here's the thing about it. If Sony had released the game, in that 4-month window that they said they were going to, when the game dropped on PS5, there wouldn't have been a problem with me.
LeRon, you better come up with a really good reason, or I'm going to book the first flight to your house and beat you up.
What cracks me up is that this game has been out for 10 years now at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. So you better come up with a really good reason, or I'm on the first PJ flight to your house and I'm going to whoop you.
What game are we talking about?
Last of Us.
I'm talking about the remake.
It's the same goddamn game.
Same game.
I haven't played
you know what? RE4 is the same goddamn game.
No, RE4 is literally built up differently from the ground up. The Last of Us remake.
And you're saying the Last of Us remake isn't the damn thing? Looks like
it's not.
The damn thing looks like a fucking PS5 game.
No. These are two different games, and I will argue this. They are two different games here.
So, from what I understand, the Last of Us remake, they literally took the game and just really did a deep dive in recreating a lot of the graphics, a lot of the scenes. It's literally the same game, except they really overhauled it.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, they overhauled it.
They also changed up the enemy AI. Like the clickers can now find you when you're standing stark still because they do a new thing with their echolocation.
Yeah.
Oh, actually,
Yes, for real. I'm not kidding.
It's kind of it's just
that's
similar to
terrifying.
Last of Us 2.
That-
It's the
that-
same
that-
as Last of Us 2.
That barking thing that they do, like
Yeah.
now they can use it to bounce the sound waves off of you standing still and it can find you.
Yeah, just like in Last of Us 2.
Oh my god.
No, it's just like in Last of Us 2. It's nothing new.
Yeah,
Oh,
well, I
that's
mean,
right. Yeah, okay. I forgot they did that.
They initially said that they were trying to bring The Last of Us Part 1 up to Last of Us Part 2. They initially said that.
They did say that. I wonder if The Last of Us Part 2 will get some sort of PS5 upgrade at some point.
It probably will because Sony wants to make money.
Probably when Factions comes out.
Did the
Possibly.
Last of Us 2
Factions
come
ain't
out?
coming out. Factions ain't coming out.
They just said today that we're going to hear more about it later this year.
That is
Yeah.
not coming out.
Yeah.
That game is like 5 years old. How long is it going to take them to make a multiplayer mode for that?
Well, it's not a mode; it's a game. It's a multiplayer.
It's an
game.
actual standalone game.
Yeah,
it's a
co-op
standalone game.
I said multiplayer mode.
Well,
It's the same.
It's a co-op game though. It's not like a competitive game like the first one.
Whatever.
Stoy's like, shut up.
All right, Stoy, you're up next.
Chrono Cross was remastered due to fears the original would be unplayable.
Really?
Which is funny to say that. So according to a newly published Square Enix YouTube interview with the development team, Games Radar spotted this. The game originally started as a project to recognize the game's 20th anniversary, which would have been in 2019. And apparently, I think COVID delayed things. So Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition was eventually released in 2022. Chrono Cross: The Radical Dreamers Edition was originally developed over fears the original game would become unplayable. Back when the project was launched, this is quotes, Chrono Cross was possibly going to become unplayable, remaster producer Koichiro Sakamoto explained during the interview. There was a game archive service on PlayStation 3 that allowed you to play PlayStation 1 games, but PlayStation 4 was already on the market, and, quote, we didn't know at the time if PlayStation 4 would also have a game archive service. It looked like Chrono Cross could become unplayable, so a remaster project was set up. That is the backstory. It's interesting because there's interest in developers for archiving these games to be played on modern systems.
I thought you were going to say something else about like Chrono Cross's launch. I really thought you were.
Well, I mean, the fact that it was supposed to come out 3 years ago, and even though it was 3 years too late, it was still kind of broken. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
But I've already beaten that horse. But I think this is, like I said, it should be I don't know. I mean, if Sony sees this as a success, which I know obviously it's not exclusive to Sony systems anymore. It's on Nintendo as well. If Sony sees this as a success, maybe they'll push for more PlayStation 1 legacy games on their service.
As they should.
That'd be great because I don't think that service is worth having at the moment.
No, not really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think maybe the what's the middle tier, the extra tier?
Yeah.
I think
the extra tier is worth it.
I think that's worth it. I don't think the premium tier is worth it.
Yeah, not in the current state. Like, I feel like they need to just really concentrate on making that part better. If they can make that part better, then like the money will make sense.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I feel like they need to figure out a way to get the PlayStation 3 games native. Like, and I know that, like, I don't know if you guys watch the YouTube channel Moore's Law is Dead, but they were talking about how every game on the PlayStation 3, because of the cell processor chip, every game was ported different. Every game's lead platform was the Xbox 360, and every time they ported it, the way they ported it was different. So every single game on the PlayStation 3 has to have its own emulation package.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why they're not native to the PlayStation 5 or 4, right? Because every single game has to be tested with a different emulation system. And they need to figure that out. So sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent, but that was just like a really interesting kind of tidbit that a lot of people always ask why can't they just brute force it? It's because, well, there are technical reasons, literal technical reasons.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So next up. Oh God, excuse me.
you all right?
Next up, yeah, like I went to start talking and I was like, I don't know, like something weird went on my throat. My bad, y'all. All right. Next up, Google Stadia's cloud service has also been shut down. Google Stadia's cloud streaming service, which is the last remnant of the platform's original technology, has now been shut down. When Google Stadia was killed earlier this year, it was stated that parts of the project's cloud infrastructure would be used across Google Cloud and would be offered to third-party companies interested in the technology. Now, Axios has reported that this final pivot has also been shut down. Since the repositioning of the cloud streaming tech, it had been used in limited ways, such as AT&T customers being offered a streamed version of Batman Arkham Knight with certain packages. The technology was also used by non-gaming companies, such as fitness giant Peloton, to offer gamified versions of their workouts via the cloud. But that has also since been shut down. So there we go. Like, rest in peace, Stadia.
Man, what a shame. That technology was so interesting to just shut it down.
Yeah.
Man, you would have thought like someone would have, because like Stadia wasn't a great product, but that technology is definitely worth investing in for someone, right? As a secondary kind of option, right? I mean, especially for someone like Sony or Nintendo to go in there and be like, hey, we need streaming options, especially Nintendo,
Yeah.
who's struggling, right? I mean, in terms of like third party support, man, I don't know. That seems like a backwards move. Yeah. By the way,
Like I just love the Google. Oh, go ahead.
their controllers are super cheap if you're looking for a cheap PC controller.
Oh yeah, how cheap are we talking?
Like $20-$25 on eBay, but you have to update them.
It's a really nice controller, actually.
Yeah, it looks. I almost bought one just to have one on my desk, but I didn't because, well, why? Thought about it though.
All right, Corey. The final speed run is yours.
It is. Okay, so lastly, Cliff Bleszinski considered taking Gears 4 first person pre-Microsoft acquisition. Gross. This comes from our friends over at Video Games Chronicle. Cliff Bleszinski has said he considered making a first-person Gears of War game prior to the IP's acquisition by Microsoft. Speaking to Xbox Era Podcast, when asked about Epic's vision of the fourth game before the IP was sold, Bleszinski said, quote, "Yeah, I can tell you I wanted to actually consider going to first person with it. Can you imagine chainsawing a locust in first person?" He added. While Bleszinski didn't elaborate on his ideas for the theoretical fourth game, it would have marked a huge departure for the series, which has been in the third person since its inception. Bleszinski also claimed that when Microsoft took over the IP, a focus on returning the game to its horror roots was key for Xbox, for the Xbox maker. Quote, "That was Phil Spencer's main note when Microsoft acquired the IP. When talking to Rod Ferguson, he said, 'Let's go back to the horror stuff.'" So I think it would have been a huge mistake for Gears to go third person or first person.
You mean first person?
Yeah, first
Yeah.
person.
Yeah.
It would have tanked the entire game.
Yeah, I think.
I
mean, I don't think a first person Gears game is a bad idea, but to take the series as a whole that way, right? I don't think that would have been right. Like,
I'd like to try it and see it, but I just think like going from 1, 2, 3 and then completely like 360ing it would be like, whoa, wait a minute, right?
So yeah, I just I love Gears. I think it's Microsoft's best IP, in my opinion. And outside of probably Forza, it's my favorite. It's the most consistent, and to see it change like that, I think would have been a huge mistake.
What's your favorite one?
I really like Gears of War 2, but I also really like 5 a lot.
5 was good.
5 is
I liked 5.
amazing.
Yeah, 5 was killer.
So I'm really.
Who'd you let?
What?
Sorry, who did you let die in 5?
Spoilers. No spoilers for the audience.
7-year-old game at this point.
I know. It's 4. 2019, right? 2018? 2019? somewhere in there. Yeah. I killed JD.
Oh, okay, yeah, I did the same thing.
God, dude, what a douche.
I was like, well, this is easy.
Yeah. I wonder what they're gonna. I wonder if that's gonna affect 6 at all.
That was my question. Is that like moving into the 6th, like how would they?
I wonder if they're gonna read your save or if they're just gonna ask you at the beginning who died in the last game.
That straight up. Who'd you let? Who'd you yeet in 5?
Gosh, I don't know. I felt bad doing that to Marcus though, because he's already been through so much.
Yeah, he lost Anya. Now he lost JD, but JD was
and Dom.
Oh yeah, true. I forgot.
And like,
wow.
I'm like, no, he's the tragic character. You got to do something. So
true.
All right, cool. Well, that's everything for Speedrun. We are going to go ahead and tackle real quickly into our questions from the audience section. Tonight's Q&A is thanks to our friend of the show, Mr. Eddie V. You all know him from the Nintendo Pal Block show. Corey can't get enough of his bosom buddy. You know what, Corey? Yeah. You want to go ahead and ask the question? No? Okay. Okay.
I love you, Ed. I'm just messing with you. Do you think Sony will have an era of their first-party Japan-developed games, not third or Square exclusive, that would shine more than their Western teams? And do you think PlayStation doesn't have any more Japanese teams? So we were kind of discussing this when we were going over the show, right? They only really have 2 Japanese teams, right? They shut down Studio Japan. It's really Team Sobo and who's the other one? I can't even remember.
Polyphony Digital.
Yeah. So, I mean, Ed and I had this conversation before where like, I think Sony's ultimate plan is Europe, to be honest. Like their whole all their leadership is there, right? A lot of their studios are there, like Herman Holst, right, from Guerrilla is there. Their focus is Europe and the Western United States, right? They know the PlayStation 5 is too big to fit in Japanese apartment buildings, so this is but all kidding aside, right? I mean, you look at all their games, they're pretty Western focused, I mean, that's I mean, even Astrobot, right, is their Japanese developed team, but that team is really not like, I think only like half of that team is even Japanese native. So, I don't think Sony really cares about their Japanese roots anymore. I mean, that's what Square is for, and that's what a lot of these other companies that they're getting help from, right? I mean, that's what they're for, to keep that Japanese audience happy. But
ultimately, where's their market?
Yeah.
Where is Sony making the most money? Where is Microsoft making the most money?
Right.
Nintendo probably has a huge stranglehold on the Japanese market, so Sony is looking elsewhere. They're seeing a lot of good returns on their investment in Western markets like Europe, United States, stuff like that. So that's where the majority of their, attention is going. So yeah, I mean, Polyphony Digital is consistently just going to be making Gran Turismo. And then Team Asobo made Astrobots, which is, if they continue to support Astrobots, that could be a fucking Mario killer.
Yeah.
Because like Astrobot for the VR was probably the most amazing VR game I've ever played.
Yeah.
And the tech demo on PlayStation 5 should have been its own standalone game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No cap.
I can't believe that game was not $40 or $50.
Really, honestly, they could have sold that game and it could have it would have made money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. I hope they do something for PSVR with Astrobot again.
They
are developing a kind of like action adventure platformer, at least quote unquote. So
cool.
Who knows what it's going to be?
Yeah.
Cool shit. Any final thoughts on that, or are we moving on?
I'm good.
That's it.
Cool. Cool. All right. If you'd like to ask us for our thoughts and opinions on anything going on in gaming, tweet us at crossroads_VGP or email us at crossroadspspod@gmail.com. We do look out for it, and we would definitely address it if we see it. So there's that. Thanks to Ed for those questions. It wasn't a shit show. So there's that.
Whoa.
Come on.
Who's shitting on the show?
Come on,
Sorry.
come on. We've seen some of the questions we've gotten from certain individuals. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's fair.
All right. So we're at the big topic for tonight, y'all, and we're gonna talk about something that probably has been talked about a few other times before on other shows, but has never really been addressed by us on the Crossroads. Andre and I did have like a precursor conversation to this last week.
A powwow,
But
if you will.
yeah, but now here we are. We're going to talk about game remasters. Are we talking cash grabs here, or are they essential remakes? So here's how it's running down here. The past few years have seen many more remasters and remakes of classic and fan favorite games. Many of these have been received very well by the communities and have become successful financially. Some, however, have failed miserably, coming off as cheap, low-effort cash grabs. What did the good ones get right, and where did the bad ones go wrong? So let's go ahead and break this down, gentlemen. We're gonna talk about what the difference is between a game remake and a game remaster. All right. So who wants to start us off here?
I think the most recent example we can all kind of agree on is The Last of Us. I'm someone who loves the
All right.
game.
All right, pause for 1 second. The Last of Us Part 1 is considered a remaster by Sony and its developer team. All right, keep going.
I don't think that though. I mean, like, I don't know. I love the game. I love the show. I love the second game. I've played the first game like 3 times. I fucking love that game. Did it need to get remade? I don't think so. I know graphically it looks better. LeRon, you pointed out some new features in the game, which I didn't know. I haven't played it, but it's been what? It's been on the PS3, PS4, and now PS5 and PC. Am I correct?
Coming soon to PC, yes.
Yeah, it's 4 times, and I know people can argue like RE4 has been thrown around the gaming, community, but I just don't know if The Last of Us like needed it. That again, this is a personal thing, and you can shoot me a DM and say whatever you want, but this is my take on it.
To be fair, RE4 has been nothing but ports. So like this remake, I think a lot of people have fatigue about this game because like it's been ported so many times. People were more or less like, why in the hell didn't you just remake it? Like by the time you came around to porting it for the 5th time,
I think
Resident Evil 4 has such the biggest life cycle of almost any game I've seen, and this includes like those.
Skyrim has entered the chat.
Who? What?
Skyrim has entered the chat.
Has Skyrim had more than Resident Evil 4?
Oh, you kidding me?
I mean,
it's a running joke nowadays.
Yeah, but Skyrim came out after Resident Evil 4 by like 5 or 6 years.
And I imagine it's probably, I don't know. I mean,
Skyrim is literally on smart fridges and stuff too, right through the Alexa stuff. So
yeah.
I mean, that's
you can play a game on like Teslas, can't you?
You can play something on Tesla. I don't know.
The Witcher you can play on the Tesla, I think.
That's what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Cuphead.
That's who I've seen.
Yeah. I mean, I belly ache enough about Resident Evil 4, but that's only because, like, I didn't have an enjoyable time with it when I first played it back on the GameCube, and so it's been one of those things. It's like returning from Vietnam for me, as far as like looking forward to playing it, even though I own it across.
That is the weirdest analogy I've ever.
No, it's like my own personal Vietnam. Like it's one of those things where it's like, like I get dragged back kicking and screaming to it, which is why like I'm so adverse to it. Like, is why I didn't welcome like the idea of this remake. Okay. It's honestly why. It's just like how people are bitching and moaning about Last of Us getting a remake. Like we have people that are equally as vocal about the fact that Resident Evil 4 is getting a remake. And speaking of like we use the term remake and remasters interchangeably, but usually a remaster is basically an up-res version of an existing game. Whereas remasters are usually developers usually. I'm sorry, yeah, remakes. I will do that a lot because I tend to get those words.
We did it last week too, a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Whereas remakes are usually games that, you know, the developers go back, look at the skeleton and start working it up from the ground up. Sometimes it winds up looking almost like the exact same game with a brand new look and feel, like The Last of Us Part 1 remake did. And sometimes we get gems like the Dead Space remake, which, you know, by all intents and purposes feels like Dead Space, but it does not look and play and act like Dead Space. There's so many nuanced changes to the game that it's a more enjoyable experience, even for people who have never played the game before in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, the biggest thing now too is like reimaginings too, right? I mean, you look at something like Final Fantasy VII, right? The Final Fantasy VII remake and now Rebirth. It's like these are technically remakes of classic games, but they're going in and actually like changing a lot of things to where you actually have to consider like adding a third category to this remaster remake category, right? But I do think like if you're looking at strict remakes now, like I think you have to look at stuff like Resident Evil 2 and games like that where like, man, they really just took the story and the bare bones of that game and created something new out of it, and it's incredible. Whereas like you look at Kingdom Hearts, you know, 1.5 and 2.5, like you said, LeRon, it's just an up-res, like,
Yeah.
you know, hardly even changing the controls to make them feel modern, you know, if they do at
Yeah.
all. Which was like my big problem with the Resident Evil ports, right? Is like they didn't add the right stick camera stuff. It's still just, you know, the solo stick aiming, moving, shooting all does one thing, right? It's the Metroid Prime remastered problem, right? Where like not problem, but like they didn't do what Metroid Prime Remaster did, right? Where they actually added modern controls.
Yeah.
And made
Yeah,
the
because
game
like, I mean,
infinitely better, right? I mean, you can't even go back now to Metroid Prime on GameCube. I mean, you could if you're a psychopath, but
yeah, sadist.
But I mean, just giving you that control scheme and upresing it makes that game feel new again. And you know, I think that's all people kind of want from remasters, because like nostalgia plays a big role in wanting remasters too, right? And it's like Kingdom Hearts is a prime example of nostalgia, Mickey and you know Cloud fighting bad guys together, and you know I remember how much fun this was, and you go to play them, yeah, maybe they're not that good, but I remember having fun. At least I have that new version sitting on my shelf, you know.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I feel like the Kingdom Hearts remasters were just cash grabs. I really do.
I mean they've been re-released so many times now. It's just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
But
yeah, even to the point where they're like, you know what, we're just gonna throw a cloud version at you, and you
oh my gosh,
you guys
don't
will
get me
get it.
started on the cloud stuff.
I won't. Yeah. But I mean, you know, like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes like things are done right. Like, you know, like for example, like I remember losing my shit when Call of Duty Modern Warfare was both remastered and then later remade. You know, and let's be honest, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare came out in 2007, and then they got a remaster. They got a remaster. Wait, I can't remember the timeline. I know they're going to remaster.
It was remastered. The remaster came with Advance. No, not Advance. The one where they went to space. What one was that?
Yeah.
Infinite Warfare.
Infinite Warfare. Thank you, Stoy.
Yeah, that was in 2016. And then in 2019, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare was released, and it was a remake of the original game.
It was a reimagining.
No,
it was one of the reimagining.
It was actually a prequel, technically.
It was a prequel?
Yeah,
that was a
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the ending set it up for the Modern Warfare story.
Okay. So, I was mistaken.
Interesting the way they did it. Yeah.
My bad. I was mistaken.
Sir.
But yeah, like, yeah,
I think remakes are unnecessary cash grabs. I think there's a contingent of people, and I've heard this on multiple fronts, to say, I don't want to play this game that was revered back in the day because, you know, modern games advance, games become, get these like big quality of life updates over the past, 20 years, that sometimes people that are playing games now don't want to go back to play the old games because of, missing the creature comforts of things, like the camera, they'd be able to move the camera around in Resident Evil 4, the original one. Um, Granted, the game was not designed for you to move around a lot. Everything happens in front of you. So that's why, for me, there's no reason to have a movable camera in the original Resident Evil 4 because it's not necessary. But
Yeah.
we're used to that creature comfort nowadays. So that's why it's like when people go back to play the old game, it's like I can't do this. I can't play this. I'm used to what we have now. So, that's that could be why there's an onus of like, well, hey, here's we have two groups of people. We have the people that love the nostalgia of these games. So they're going to come in to buy, the game because they want to relive it with a new experience. And then you also have these other people that have sat on it for years and years and years, never played it, that now will have a chance to play it with those modern creature comforts. So, they're grabbing two different audiences, and they don't have to worry about, are people going to like this game? Are people going to buy it? Because it's an established IP already and it's got history behind it. So the marketing sells itself. You don't have to try to convince people to buy this game. It's fucking Resident Evil 4. It's fucking Dead Space. It's Last of Us. It's Modern Warfare. This game is popular. This game is big. So you're gonna buy it. That's their marketing.
All right, so let me pose this question. Do you think it's a good strategy to do a remake or a remaster to try and get like a new vein of the audience in there? For example, like Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamers edition. That's a remaster of that game. For to a certain extent, like it is tragic that it came out in kind of a busted state. Also, like Tales of Symphonia remaster and stuff like that. Now, I'm under the assumption that with the Chrono Cross Radical Dreamers edition, even though we did explain why the developers went in on it, stuff like that, I also feel like this was an opportunity to get more people, to recognize that game. Whereas Tales of Symphonia, I don't know what the end goal was for that remaster to come out, because I feel like there was not really any. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I wasn't paying attention to the right part of the community, but I don't feel like no one was really asking for a Tales of Symphonia remaster.
Well, I think they looked at the success of Tales of Arise, and I think a lot of people, were really into the Tales games, so they wanted more. So they probably wanted to have let's just quick release this game out into the public to keep people with the Tales, because in the past, during the 360 and PS3 era, there was a Tales game almost every other year. So now the development cycles are probably longer. We're probably not going to see another new Tales game for another couple of years. So they probably were just like, hey, let's go rush this out.
I also think a lot of people who owned GameCubes really loved Tales of Symphonia. I think a lot of GameCube fans are actually asking for that game.
That was on GameCube? I thought that was just on PlayStation 2.
No, Tales of Symphonia was a GameCube exclusive, and then came to PlayStation 3 with what's it called? The new Dawn of the New World or something, I think the sequel was called.
Oh yeah, it was a GameCube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 3 version was not very good. It had a lot of frame rate issues, and the Switch port, or the modern port of this game, is actually based off the PlayStation 3 version, and a lot of people are unhappy because of how poorly that version ran, and it still runs poorly.
It did come out on the PlayStation 2 in Japan, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think they should just keep the games where they're at.
So you're on the don't remake remaster stuff.
Don't remake it. Just remaster it.
Yeah.
Just remaster it. Okay.
I think there's a generation where I think a lot of maybe the Nintendo 64 and Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 stuff, you could argue that you could remake some of those games. But like, I don't like. I was looking at GameCube and some Dreamcast stuff the other day, and like those games still look kind of good, especially GameCube games. Like Luigi's Mansion still looks incredible. I mean, look at Metroid Prime Remastered as a prime example. Like I know they redid some of the assets, but like all in all, that game is still the GameCube version, and it still looks incredible. Just with widescreen and up-res, like, man. Yeah,
I feel kind of I feel kind of a weird cross because, like I said, I'm kind of back and forth because, like I said, if you talk about a remake coming out, like, I'm excited for it, I'm looking forward to it, but like if I didn't have it, it wouldn't have been a big deal. If they would have stopped with the remakes after Resident Evil 3, I'd have been like, okay, that's fine. If they would have if we would have never gotten Final Fantasy 7 remake, I'd have been fine with it. So it's just, and even like Last of Us, like, I would have been fine with just them sticking with with the remastered PlayStation 4 version and just leave it at that. I mean, it's playable on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah,
but
you call out Final Fantasy 7, and like there was no way I was going to ever play that game again. Like after playing it for as long as I did when it was on a PS1 game and stuff like that, there was no way I was going to come back to. There was no way I had any thoughts of coming back and playing it.
Well, and Corey talked about it because they did it differently than I think any other remake, because they did a reimagining. They're literally coded it in the game's story that they're changing the original.
Yeah.
And we got a little bit of hint of that at the end of the game, and I'm not going to spoil it, but at the end of the game, you get this idea that things are going to change from what you know of the original game.
Right.
Which is kind of a cool way to do it, because now it's like you're retelling the story with the same characters, but you've effectively changed the fate of
which
everybody.
that's something I really think is cool. That's honestly where I feel like remasters can really give us a big payoff. Like when it homages. Oh, my bad. See, I told you.
I know. I'm keeping up.
Thank you. Yeah, but I feel like that's where remakes can really do it justice. Keep the core stuff that makes the game the classic and stuff like that, but also like for the people who've been seasoned to it, like give us something to make us say, you know what, it was worth our time and stuff like that. Which is why, like, I've been raving about the Dead Space remake. I'm raving about the Final Fantasy 7 remake. I'm raving about Resident Evil 2 and 3's remakes, even though 3 was kind of half-assed. 3 was kind of half-assed,
What?
3 was half-assed, like I'm not gonna complain about us missing the giant worm and the graveyard fight, but I am gonna complain about the clock tower. I am gonna complain about that, And this is coming from someone that would speedrun the shit out of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, back on the PS1, because like I was able to beat the game in just under 3 hours, stuff like that, So I was one of those guys, and I was able to do both the front side and the back side of RE2, back in those days in under 5 hours.
Under 5 hours.
I'm on the side of the RE3 remake that came out, didn't have half of the game from the original, which sucks, because that was one that I was looking forward to, and when I saw it, I was like, they took out like half of this game. Like, why?
That's why I was kind of wondering. I wonder if they were probably co-developing it alongside Resident Evil 2.
They were. They were. That was the actual history.
Yeah. So, I imagine they didn't have as big of a budget to develop that game as they did with Resident Evil 2 remake.
That makes sense.
There was a hell of a lot more content in 2 than there was in 3, and even the original one. And bro, you need to up your game. I was speed running Resident Evil 3 in 2 hours.
Okay. Well, I mean, it didn't matter. I was getting the S ranking every time I won, so I was doing something.
Right.
Get shit on, LeRon.
Yeah.
Get good, bro.
GG's go next.
Your mouth's brown, bro. Sheet it here.
All right. Are there any notable remakes or remasters that you guys want to just call out real fast? Any notable ones like Tactics Ogre Reborn comes to my mind for example. As that was a we call it a remake or a remaster because
I would
like
say
it's
it's
kind
a
of
remaster.
a remaster. Okay.
But in
Okay.
that same vein, I want to call out Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions is actually a
Thank
very
you.
good.
Thank you.
Which, by all accounts, if that NVIDIA leak is true, which everything on that list has come out has been true so far, we're getting a Final Fantasy Tactics remaster this year.
And I will buy the fuck out of that.
But yeah, I mean that's the first one that comes to mind. Really, that's the first one I really loved. I think. I mean that was the game I bought
War of the
PSP
Lions.
for. I think.
Man, War of the Lions. Like when I was playing the original Final Fantasy Tactics on the PlayStation 1, man, that game, like even when I beat that game, I would just go back to a random save that I still had in my memory card and just play. I love that game so much. It's amazing, and the fact that I've jailbroken every system I have just to continue playing that game is just wonderful.
I actually really thoroughly enjoyed the remake of Link's Awakening for the Switch. That was another game that didn't need a remake. I think it stood on its own in terms of gameplay.
I'm glad we got it though.
Yeah, I'm glad we got it too. And like I said, that's kind of like my conflict is like I'm glad we have this, but we didn't need it. Because the game was already good as is. And besides that, obviously the Mass Effect Legendary Edition remaster, I think that's how remasters need to go, is quality of life improvements, modernizing it, and just kind of cleaning up everything. We saw more improvements in Mass Effect 1 to make it coincide with 2 and 3, both in terms of gameplay and graphics and stuff. So it wasn't a complete overhaul. It wasn't like a remaster, but they spent a little bit extra time redeveloping the game, just to kind of make it mesh. Because 1 was completely different than 2. Not completely different, but Mass Effect 1 was pretty different compared to 2 and 3. Because I think when 2 came out, they wanted to make it more action-oriented as opposed to RPG-oriented. So
anybody else got anything to add?
No, sir.
All right. So here's the final word here. Remasters can be an amazing nostalgia trip for fans, or even the start of something new. It really depends on how much work was put into the game and how much of what the fans want was taken into account. Without these, the game can feel like a cash grab rather than a nostalgic return for the players. And I think that basically sums it up, honestly. So yeah, like I'm such a nostalgic gamer that I do love either remasters or remakes in whatever form they come in, just as long as they don't do something that hurts the experience. And that could include like a shitty ass like rendering report of it. That could also include like neutering the original source material, or that could also be like fundamentally changing around stuff. Like Final Fantasy VII Remake, for example, is doing a very good job of like retelling the story with adding stuff that's never been thought of or seen before and things like that. And I enjoy it. Plus like the whole, it's like a whole new game in my opinion. So there it is. I can't say enough about it, about this stuff. I will, if I look at it and it feels like it's worth me throwing my money at it, I'm going to give it my money.
I just think when you're doing a remake or a remaster, you almost have to go to the fans and the content that's already out and really pay attention to what people either are complaining about or from the original one, or see what they love and just improve on it. Like, I would hate to be a game designer and having to remake or remaster a game because there's so much pressure when putting that out that it's like, if you take one step off the beaten path and go a different way, you just will piss off the entire fan base.
Well, I also feel like the fun part of it is like, are you going to piss off the fan base? But at the same time, are you going to like change some minds about the things that you've done with it? Because sometimes, Because sometimes remakes and remasters are also put out to address a problem they could not fix in the original development of the game and stuff like that.
At that time, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen Capcom, Square Enix, and a few other people talk about that. Whereas other ones was like, no, we just want to put the game out and make some money. Or we want to put the game out and make some money to help us develop the game that we really want to make and stuff like that. Because that's definitely what's happening. Like if we look at Nintendo's side of the equation for the most part, like like that's happening. These are fillers to help fund like the sequels or the upcoming games that people really want to see. I'm pretty sure Square Enix has been doing that with the whole Kingdom Hearts thing. God knows they need some money. They're gonna keep updating that engine every time a new Kingdom Hearts game comes out and stuff like that. Dead Space remake, that was basically a proving ground to see if there was still interest in the Dead Space franchise and stuff like that. The KOTOR remake, whenever it comes out, good God, that's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
If it comes out worthy, there's always that to be said. So
don't you dare slander my boy like that.
What do you mean?
Well,
hold on. The game has been indefinitely delayed. Something's going on.
It will be good.
It's not at Aspire anymore, is it? I think it's at
No.
Saber now. Right?
Yeah,
Saber
they took it out.
Picked it up.
Yeah, they took it out of their hands.
Man, rough, man. That game.
The developers of Time Shift, one of the greatest first-person shooters of all time, is developing the KOTOR remake.
I would honestly, because I love this game. I still play it now on my PS Vita.
You like you like Time Shift too?
Oh, I've never played Time Shift. I was just adding
the disappointment.
You got
I was gonna add.
No one's played that fucking game. Every time I talk about Time Shift, everyone's like, "What?"
I was gonna add that the one and only shoot 'em up game that Square Enix ever did, Einhander. I would love for them to remake that game or remaster it. As a matter of fact, remaster it. Keep that damn soundtrack because that soundtrack is one of the best video game soundtracks I've ever heard, ever. Yep. All right. Well, we're gonna go. That's our big topic for tonight, and with that, I just want to say that's our show for the evening as well. As always, we'd like to thank you for tuning into the Crossroads Game Podcast. Corey, thank you for blessing us with your presence, man.
That's what I do.
It's always wonderful to have you. It's always wonderful. Be sure to check out our show notes, whether you're checking the show out on YouTube or whether you listen to the podcast, it will all be in the description paragraphs for you to find all of our links as well as how you can get in contact with the show directly. Unfortunately, I don't have anything to shout out tonight for featured on bossrush.net, but just head to bossrush.net, check out all the things the interesting news and unique talking topics that are happening over there. Bossrush.net has you covered. So, definitely show some love to all of our talented writers, content creators, and contributors that are serving things up on the site for you on a daily. Just those Boss Rush banners, are just the shit, If you'd like to keep the conversation going with us, you can find the Crossroads Video Game Podcast over on Twitter at Crossroads_VGP. If you've enjoyed tonight's show, please give us a like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And be sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a new episode when the show comes out. Also, for our podcast listeners out there, leave us a review and a 5-star rating, wherever you listen to the show. Because we'd like you for it, but only give us a 5-star rating if the show tickled your fancy. So
no,
there's that.
5 stars or don't do it at all.
What
you heard the man? It's simple.
Yeah, that's Mr. Boss Rush himself.
Listen to the man; he knows things.
I do know.
Hey everyone, this has been episode 113 for the Crossroads. I'm sorry, wait, this has been episode 112 for the Crossroads Podcast. I got ahead of myself. My bad. We love you and appreciate you for hanging out with us this episode. As a partner of the Boss Rush Network, go out there, play games, be better, and please come back and join us for our next all-new episode of the Crossroads Podcast. Have a great night. Send us your questions. Play some more remakes, remasters. Do the thing that makes you happy. And we're out of here. So long.
Goodbye.
Bye. I love you.